Hey, it's great to be with you again today. Yesterday, I gave a message about Jesus's interaction with some scribes. Now, scribes were in charge of writing down deeds and loans and official papers, and they also wrote down letter by letter, word for word, the Old Testament, the Torah, right? And they were very, very concise in writing it down. They did not want to make a mistake. And they were very rich and very powerful and were very aware of their status. They wore these white robes and had tassels on them. And they even made the tassels a little longer than they really needed to be so that when they walked, they would sway and people would be like, ooh, they're so awesome. And they were powerful in the religion. But Jesus had a problem with the scribes. You see, because they loved money. Not only did they love money, but they loved their power and their status. They loved to be recognized. They loved to sit up in front of the people at banquets and at the synagogue, and they were given the best seats and the most powerful positions. And Jesus is like, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that, because here's the thing. Even though you're educated, even though you have all of this power and status, you're far away from God. There's something wrong with your hearts. You see, you can be educated and know everything there is to know about the Old Testament and the New Testament. You can have all this head knowledge. I can tell you the stories about Moses and David, and I can tell you the stories about Peter and Paul, and I can tell you the stories about Jesus, and I can tell you the stories about, and we know all that stuff up here. But do we know Jesus here? You see, and that's where Jesus had the problem with the scribes. They didn't love God more than they loved their power, status, and money. And whenever we put something ahead of God, we have made them our God. And God has taken a lesser place in our lives. As we go through our lives, may we seek God, not just in head knowledge, but in our hearts. May we turn our lives over to Him. May we read His scriptures. May we start to internalize them and get them inside of us so that it goes through our whole being, and we start to love God, and we start to obey God, and we start to follow His leadings. And when we do that, then it's not just head knowledge anymore. It's love. It's love in our hearts. May God continue to pour out His grace, mercy, and blessings on each and every one of us until we get to meet again. Amen. Amen.